Hello everybody, it's Mr. Z again. We're going to work on a concept today called composition. Composition is how you arrange figures within your picture space, and it's what artists do to make better works of art. You compose it intelligently using balance. You guys have maybe seen balance. You ever see Simone Biles on a balance beam? That's balance. We're going to also be talking about the concept of movement. Very good. We're going to be talking about space, how we fill the space. And we're going to be talking about emphasis. What do you want your people to look at? We are going to talk about, that's pretty good. We could even add a couple other lines like rhythm. We could add shape, but let's just stay with these terms as we look at the idea of composition. And for composition today, class, we're going to be using some fish forms. Here are a couple of our fish here. And as you can see, they are overlapping each other. They are not an entire composition because we have other things to add. We have those two little fish. We have a rock. We have this fish. We have some coral. And we have this fish. And we have a shark. Let me see if they're all in the picture. And they are. Now, this is not a good composition. This is simply a bunch of critters that are kind of bunched in the middle. Let's start by removing our critters and taking a look at what might be a different composition. Right here, I'm going to kind of put the floor of the ocean. And up here, I'm going to put the surface of the ocean. Okay, now we have those critters to make into a composition. Let's try this composition. I'm going to put the coral here, and I'm going to put the fish here, and I'm going to put the shark here, and I'm going to put the rock here, and I'm going to put this fish here, and I'm going to put this fish here. Now, my question to you is this a good composition? No, it doesn't use the whole picture space. It kind of looks like they're in a big pile. So let's try a different composition. How's that? There we go, composition 2. Is that a strong composition? It is not. It is not using the picture space. There really isn't any emphasis. It's not balanced. And there's really no movement. They look like, again, they're piled up on top of each other. I wonder if you would allow me to try something different. Okay, let's see what we can do with a little bit more of a balanced work of art. Now, remember, to show movement, you may wish, one of the best ways to show movement is to have something leaving the picture space and entering it. That shows good movement. I think it's pretty simple that we have our coral at the bottom, and the rock could go way over here to balance the coral, but that's a little bit much. Let's see what we can do about maybe putting them in front of each other a little bit. Let's see how that works. Now, we also have other fish swimming by. We have 3 more fish to deal with. Could we put a fish behind the coral? And we still have these 2 little fish here. Could they be above the shark? That is a little bit better composition. How about if these fish are entering the space, overlapped? How about if the shark's fin, his dorsal fin, breaks the surface? It seems to me that because of the shark and the fact that he's entering the space, he may be the emphasis of our drawing or of our composition or what we want people to look at. Now, how have we used the space? It seems to me that this looks too clunky over here, so why don't I move that back over and see what I can do about uncentering this. Maybe I could move this over a little bit. You want about the same weight, but now it's not right because everything's on this side or this side and there's nothing in the middle. What could we do about that? Well, we could have a fish leaving the space. That might not be a bad idea. We could have a fish behind the shark. Now we have some weight on this side of the picture, and maybe we could bring him in to put some weight on the other side of the picture, which might emphasize the shark going downward. That's not too bad. That's not a bad composition. We're showing movement by having things, maybe that would work even better. There, now we have this fish entering, this fish going down, about the same balance of creatures. We have overlapping. We think that our shark is the emphasis, and perhaps to make him seem more like an emphasis, perhaps we could have something like bubbles emanating from him to show attention to what he's up to, or she. Okay? Nothing is landing exactly on the line. Nothing is sitting on this line here. It's breaking the surface. What else could we do? Maybe we could move this critter down a little bit behind the rock. That's not too bad, although I think he looks pretty good there. Okay, so I would say that this was not a bad composition. What I would like you to do, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 figures. I'd like you to do 7 figures. It could be 7 figures of fruit. It could be 7 animals. It could be 7 coffee cups. And I would like to see if you can arrange your 7 objects in an interesting way that shows balance, movement, uses the space correctly, and has a little bit of emphasis. If you do all those things, perhaps you'll arrive at the idea of a good composition. Thank you for listening to my lesson, and please be safe. Thank you. This is Mr. Z signing off.